Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we are reacting to horrors found on school laptops by my boy Pharrell McGuire. Shout out him. My computer is lagging like really bad. Hold up. What's going on? Alright, there we go. Alright, let's start this video.
November 2009.
Lock in.
The 10th grader is called into the assistant vice principal's office shortly after arriving at school. Butterflies flutter inside him.
Butterflies flutter inside him. Man, get the fuck up out of here with this bullshit. What?
Here, the authority figure currently staring him down is upset over something.
Uh-oh.
She accuses him of, quote, improper behavior.
Bro got caught jerking in the bathroom. Boy went.
He doesn't know what she's talking about. The school official slides a photo across the table, asking the boy to explain it. He picks it up. It's him. In his bedroom at home. He's never seen this before. Wait, how did the school get a hold of this picture? And who even took it in the first place?
Oh.
This single interaction would result in a snowballing series of horrifying discoveries about the nature of this school district's student laptop program. The first case of its kind, but unfortunately, not the last. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though. To understand this case, we need to learn about where it takes place. Our story starts 12 miles outside downtown Philadelphia, in the sleepy suburb of Lower Merion. Home to just over 63,000 residents, Lower Merion's urban landscape looks much like the sorts of neighborhoods you would see in a Hollywood movie, with everything from grand Tudor and colonial revivals to...
Damn! Hold up.
In a Hollywood movie.
Damn, look at that house! Man, that's just nice as hell.
With everything from grand Tudor and colonial revivals to menacing
nice
large mansions dotting the
that white one right there?
Residential streets. It all gives an air of money, and indeed, the people who call Lower Merion home seem to have a lot of
it. You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44.
Fuck you.
Since the beginning of the year, there's never been such a fun...
In 2007, the average family income for the area was $148,000, just under 3 times the national average of the United States. It's no surprise then that in the only Western country where public schooling is mostly funded on a local level, that schools in an area like Lower Merion are exceptionally well provided for, with as much as $32,000 being spent per student per year in the district.
What? Dang.
In 2009, some of that money...
Wait, what did he say, 32? 32K?
...spent per student per year in the district.
Dang.
In 2009, some of that money would go to a new program. One that sought to purchase laptops that students could use to complete their work in a more real-world professional way, and to just enhance the academic experience overall. This was something of a trend in the late 2000s, and if you're the same age as me, you'll no doubt remember antiquated computer labs with their rows of off-white CRT monitors slowly being exchanged for carts containing racks of laptops that teachers could just wheel out for their students.
I'm young, but I still remember this shit.
Mostly consist of chunky
laptop carts,
somehow slower than they looked, and you could only really use
Windows
them during class when the teacher would hand one to you, with the only exception being when you would check one out of the library to use during study hall or something. This was certainly not how it worked in Lower Merion.
It was in like kindergarten though, bro. Oh my god, real talk though. Hold up. This is off topic, but real talk though. I loved elementary school so much. I missed it so much, y'all. Oh my gosh. Bro. What were we talking about? Alright, screw it. Forget it. Back to the video.
No, these students weren't using thick Toshibas. They were using MacBooks. Moreover, it wasn't just an in-school replacement for a computer lab. These MacBooks were distributed to students under a one-to-one program, meaning each and every student would have a single laptop that would be theirs full-time, even bringing them home with them after school. I'm sure many of you watching who are still attending school past 2015 likely remember receiving a Chromebook that you could use at home under a similar one-to-one program. But this wasn't nearly as common of a thing in the late 2000s.
I'm actually using my school laptop right now to make this video.
The school district was fully ahead of the curve with this. Being the trailblazers they were, the school district didn't really have any set precedents to follow when it came to policing the use and misuse of these school devices. You can keep an eye on what somebody is doing.
Alright, real talk though, who remembers searching up porn on the school computer? Nah, hear me out.
Property in school, but how are you supposed to do that once they're at home? The Lower Merion School District is one of the most well-funded public school programs in the country, but MacBooks are expensive no matter where you live in the world. And school officials weren't just about to leave them to the mercy of their teenage owners. To potentially mitigate the issue of
MacBooks are expensive as fuck.
Purchase a piece of software called LANREV, a systems lifecycle management software. In plain English, IT administrators can use this kind of software to manage many different computers at the same time, automatically installing software and copying and deleting data on multiple machines simultaneously. Another key part of these IT management solutions are security and tracking features, some of them amounting to purposeful spyware that logs what users are doing and then reports it back to IT administrators.
Yeah, I don't like that.
in particular had a feature called Theft Track, which was designed to help recover lost or stolen computers. When activated, Theft Track could capture 3 things automatically at set time intervals: the device's IP address, a screenshot of the desktop, and a photo taken with the laptop's built-in webcam.
Yo, no, that's devious as hell.
For the Lower Merion School District that had the administrative access to use these features: IS Coordinator Carol Caffiero and Network Technician Michael Perbix.
Y'all some pedos for real.
Just a year before
they could be beating their shit with their laptop open, and you got a picture of that now.
Like a training video demonstrating some of the different features of LANREV, including Theft Track. He also talks about something he describes as curtain mode, which could allow technicians to make use of all these aforementioned monitoring features secretly, without the student knowing that someone was watching them.
Oh,
this
hell
brings us
no.
back to November 2009. 15-year-old Blake Robbins has just been...
Yeah, you're always being watched, man. No matter what, you were being watched. It's crazy nowadays. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fucking mosquito out there outside with a camera attached to its wing by the government. Like, you never know.
Of holding something in front of his face. The assistant vice principal, Lynn Matsko, insists that it's a pill, but Blake says it's a yellow Mike and Ike candy. She further accuses the teen of using and selling drugs, something he adamantly refutes. The angry school official goes on to tell Blake that she's been watching him, not just at school, but at home as well. She says that she's been looking through the webcam on his school laptop, and that she's even been reading what he's been typing.
See, now that's when you fucking get your teacher sent to jail, my guy. That's when you gotta take it to the cops. That's when you gotta take it to a lawyer and sue, my guy. Like, genuinely, bro, that's just wrong.
She confidently states that she's sure he's using and selling drugs. Blake at this point is horrified, not because of Matsko's allegations, but rather that she's been so egregiously and casually invading his privacy. That night, Matsko would call Blake's parents, telling them everything she had spoke to their son about earlier that day. Just like Blake had, his parents asked how she had gotten this photo of Blake with the supposed pill, and Matsko responded telling them that the school district has the ability to remotely activate any student's webcam at any time to view or copy whatever was visible without the consent or knowledge of anyone in the camera's sight.
Yeah, what?
The call confirming that Blake had indeed just been eating a box of Mike and Ike's that day, and the teen wouldn't end up facing any punishment at home or at school. But this is just the beginning of the story.
Hi, I'm Bob Simmons, Vice President of Pro-Life Workbench.
Shut up.
2 months later in February, Blake's family would file a class action lawsuit against the school.
Yes, bro, yes!
Violations of multiple civil rights laws, Digital Communications Acts, wiretapping laws, and even the Fourth Amendment.
Yes,
bro. Americans out there, that's the one that protects people against unreasonable search and seizures by government institutions. The suit alleged that the school board had indiscriminately remotely activated what amounted to hidden cameras in students' homes without their consent. Blake may have been the first case to spark this fire, but soon enough, it would burn much brighter than anyone had ever anticipated. For one thing, it wasn't just a single photo that Matsko had captured of Blake. She also had pictures of him sleeping, and others that we probably shouldn't discuss on YouTube. In total, the school board had collected 400 hidden camera photos. Soon enough, a second student would file a similar lawsuit against the school district, Jalil Hassan. I'll admit, this one is quite a bit more disturbing. Matsko had been spying on Blake to find some reason to get him in trouble, but internal school emails revealed that multiple district employees have been taking photos with Jalil's webcam for entertainment purposes, with one employee describing the student's home life as a soap opera. Another employee would respond to that stating, quote,
"I know, I love it."
What? The school board would state that they had only remotely activated student webcams a total of 42 times over 14 months. But that figure would soon grow astronomically. By April 2010, just 2 months after Blake's parents initially filed their lawsuit, the school board would admit to taking a total of 30,000 hidden camera photos over the previous 2 years.
What?
With only 2 members of staff having the administrative power to activate Theft Track at all, the buck would ultimately stop with them, and Mike Perbix and Carol Cafario would both be placed on administrative leave while the FBI began a criminal investigation.
Yes,
Carol,
bro.
the IS coordinator, would invoke her Fifth Amendment right and refuse to answer questions during her deposition, something her lawyer would admit, quote,
"Looked bad."
In a subsequent court filing, the same lawyer would argue that Blake had, quote, no legitimate expectation of privacy. They alleged that the student had failed to pay an insurance fee on his laptop and had a history of damaging school property. In October of that year, the school board would ultimately agree to a $610,000 settlement for both Blake and Jalil's cases. A federal judge would order the school board to halt all remote webcam monitoring. The FBI, however, would not file any criminal charges, stating there wasn't any evidence that could establish a criminal intent beyond a reasonable doubt, a ruling that the school board was reportedly very pleased with. Regardless of the outcome, this whole debacle proved to be a cautionary tale for the wider public about the nature of school laptops. Dystopian invasions of privacy by state institutions isn't really what people are likely expecting when it comes to children's academic devices, but it does make sense when you think about it. A school laptop isn't very different from a work laptop. I'm sure anybody watching this video who has a work laptop fully expects it to be chock full of tracking software of all kinds. Maybe not secret webcam recording software, but then again, I'm sure many of you put personal. I was aware of the nature of IT device management. I knew that if I had some problems with a computer, an IT technician could easily remote desktop into it without my permission. Because I was aware, I can mitigate the privacy risk a work computer can pose. But how many high school students do you think have that sort of knowledge? Or middle school students, or primary school students for that matter? I certainly didn't when I was younger. Moreover, most school employees just kind of expect students to treat their devices horribly, and they likely see it as within their best interest to track as much data as they can in the event a student decides to short-circuit their Chromebook for fun or something. That was an actual TikTok trend, by the way. Let's be clear though, school laptops are not work computers, and students aren't employees. Schools also aren't employers, they're state institutions, and the idea of government employees spying on children in their homes without parental consent is something that's going to sound horrible no matter how you spin it. And unfortunately, Lower Merion was far from the end of the story.
See, with that, that's just wrong. Like, if you're spying on what they're doing on their laptop while they're at home, that's still wrong, but that's not messed up, right? But it crosses a whole nother line when you show their face on what they're doing. Like, that's just messed up. Like, they could be naked, they could be doing something, they could be getting dressed, anything, and y'all have that on record, on file. I don't know, man. Let's keep going.
The incident revolving around the Lower Merion School Board would go on to be known to the public as Webcam Gate, and it would garner a massive amount of attention, leading to several other school boards sunsetting their own IT security solutions that allowed employees to activate student webcams before they, too, faced class action lawsuits. You have to remember, though, this is still the early days of school laptop programs. As the 2010s rolled on, one-to-one school computer programs would start to become ever more common, especially with the introduction of a particular category of low-cost laptop, the Chromebook.
Fucking hate
If you were born in the
Chromebooks.
2000s, there's a good chance you were given a Chromebook at some point by your school. These devices run something called Chrome OS, a sandboxed Linux-based operating system that's mostly designed to run Google Web Apps. The locked down and inflexible nature of these devices, combined with their low cost, made them a natural choice for school boards that wanted to try their hand at assigning their students a permanent school device that they could take home with them. And let's not lose sight of the bigger picture. These programs have helped many students in rural and low-income areas who wouldn't otherwise have access to a computer to use for their schoolwork. The whole idea of giving students personal laptops was to make education more equitable, but in execution, it hasn't exactly maintained this sense of idealism. The
Yeah.
consequences of one-to-one Chromebook programs has been immense. The sandbox nature of the software has led to younger people not learning essential computer skills like file management, and you can find countless teachers on the internet commiserating about students that lack the patience and intuition to perform basic troubleshooting when they run into software problems. Of course, we can't forget about the horrible fates that often befall these cheap academic devices. Go on the tech support course subreddit and you can see the insane condition some of these Chromebooks get returned in, with some of them even being completely obliterated. Look, everybody knows that students treat Chromebooks badly. But I don't see talked about nearly as much. It's the
Oh,
amount of
hell no, what the
surveillance schools
fuck?
have on these devices.
What did he do?
Webcam monitoring may have become a taboo, but schools definitely didn't stop finding other ways to surveil what students were doing on their laptops and Chromebooks. There's an entire sector of school safety companies that school boards contract to scan student devices for any sort of alarming communications, supposedly in the name of helping at-risk
Go
kids.
Guardian, bro.
Gaggle
Oh,
is one
hell
of these
no.
companies. They started off by selling a service that can scan students' emails and documents for certain keywords related to bullying and drugs. But as the years rolled by, and especially as AI found its way into every tech product, Gaggle too would make use of this new technology to supercharge their surveillance. By the mid-2020s, they were keeping tabs on almost 6 million students across 1,500 school districts, using techniques that would fit perfectly in the world of 1984. Basically, every piece of text that pops up on the screen of a student's Chromebook gets scanned for flagged keywords, and an AI system will perform a sentiment analysis to flag any phrases that are communicating flagged ideas or information. Again, this is all done in the name of student safety. Everything gets logged in real time without the student's knowledge. The software even incorporates ODR to copy text from images and videos that appear on the screen. There is no getting around the surveillance. If anything gets flagged by the AI, it then gets passed off to a human employee for review, who are supposed to assess the context of these reports and toss out false positives such as raunchy song lyrics and passages from literature. If the employee does approve the report, however, it then gets passed off to school officials, and sometimes they even go directly to law enforcement. In 2022, the Center for Democracy and Technology would run a national survey gathering data from teachers, parents, and students about these surveillance systems, and the results were disturbing. While these companies and school boards claim to keep tabs on their students' digital activities in the name of their safety, the survey found that 78% of teachers said students were mostly flagged for disciplinary violations, just like Blake Robbins was all the way back in 2010. Only 54% of teachers said that they had seen this monitoring lead to students getting referred to counseling. Even worse, Gaggle's keyword list had historically contained the terms gay and lesbian, leading to cases of still closeted students getting outed because school employees got a glimpse into their private life through their Chromebook. 13% of students who responded to the survey said that either they or someone they knew were outed as a result of Chromebook surveillance.
Every adventure deserves great memories, not unexpected surprises. At the Tire Choice Auto Service Centers, get all-season tires.
In 2023, a Tennessee 8th grader made an offensive joke while
That's
chatting
messed up.
online with her classmates in a private group chat on her Chromebook. Gaggle flagged the interaction. Within a couple hours, police arrived at her school and put her under arrest.
Oh,
She
damn.
was interrogated, subject to a humiliating search, and spent the night in a jail cell. She'd end up getting sentenced to 8 weeks house arrest, with her family maintaining that the remarks that triggered this whole thing were simply a joke made in poor taste by a child, only intended to be shared with a couple of her friends. A 2025 class action lawsuit by students in Lawrence, Kansas, characterized the service offered by Gaggle as a, quote, sweeping suspicionless monitoring program, something that violated their First and Fourth Amendment rights. Look, I'm sure you can tell by my tone in this video exactly what I think of all this. I'm not going to tell you what you should think. I'm sure these companies have helped some students as well. Regardless, though, you can't argue against the importance for parents and students to be aware of the nature of modern school computers. For students watching this, the Chromebook or iPad or laptop might be in your possession, but make no mistake, it is very much not yours. If you wouldn't say it out loud directly to your teacher or principal, you absolutely should not write it in your Chromebook. It's unfortunate, but you have to have the expectation that everything going into these machines is being read by somebody. For parents watching, if your child has some sort of school device, have a discussion with them about it. It's important for them to make the distinction between a truly personal device that they fully own themselves and one that's merely been loaned to them by a private company or an institution. They might not always have your child's best interests at heart. That was certainly the case for Blake Robbins and Jaleel Hassan. I was lucky enough to grow up during a time when this just wasn't really much of a problem. Though, maybe if I was born in a certain wealthy Philadelphia suburb, that might not have been the case. Guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Subscribe if you want to watch more content like this, and follow me on Instagram if you want to keep up with me off YouTube.
Follow up. Sub up. I'm going to give this video a like. Do I have notifications for you? All notifications on. And, yeah, that's about it for me, but I have some things I want to say. I think computer monitoring is necessary, but there's a point to it, you know? If it's showing any of your data, your personal data, shit's gotta go. Alright, well, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to see more videos, and drop a comment down below, and just let me know what y'all want me to start reacting to, and I'll see you. Peace.